There are three specific concepts that inhibit humanity's progress as a sociological entity. Jumping straight into it, the first one, by my own opinion, filled with cognitive biases and such, as I try to be the most objective as possible. First one has got to be the polarization slash dichotomization of everything. Okay? You can look at anything you could find where it involves many different opinions, okay? Politics, right? It's the P word. Everyone hates that word, all right? You're either this party or you're that party, okay? And while you can also argue that for multi-party systems, it's less split down the middle, it's still ineffective in the sense that there are people who want that candidate and there are people who do not, okay? As smart as humankind is, okay, we tricked silicone, we tricked rocks into thinking and displaying Gaussian matrices on our screens to display just stupid memes, right? We're very smart technologically. We are not smart sociologically, okay? We are bad at regulating ourselves. And by that logic, the fact that we impose false dichotomies on literally everything, and that's an exaggeration, on a lot of things, is so bad for the progress of a species in sociological structures. You either like something or you don't, okay? That's pretty much a universal truth, but is it? What if you feel neutral towards it? What if you like some aspects of it and dislike others? And therein, within that one little contrast I made, so much more nuance can be visible in a lot of facets, okay? Second poison that I believe inhibits progress is by far complacency. And these are in no particular order. Complacency, in essence, is literally just acknowledging that something's wrong, acknowledging that it has negative effects, but choosing to not do anything about it or not say anything about it, at the very least. And it comes to the level where a lot of people don't even like to think about it. A lot of times, when something makes an individual uncomfortable, they choose to ignore it, which is a very valid response, psychologically, emotionally, and makes sense. But sense is so far beyond what our consciousness is made of, to the point where we have to acknowledge it's not just short-term thinking, it's long-term thinking that we need to engage in, okay? We borrow from the future every single day. Every single day we take more days, we take more resources from the future. Who's going to pay that debt? Okay? Who's going to pay that? Complacency is what a lot of people, myself included, I'm not this perfect figure. Complacency is what so many people engage in, oftentimes without even realizing it. If you know that a system is bad, let me give you an example. Student loans. I think a lot of people don't like it. A lot of people say, oh yeah, I have like 6 figures in debt, and I don't even use my classes because a lot of my resources are online. So already, I see many issues with that, okay? The first thing is that we are effectively locking behind socioeconomic classes knowledge itself, education. Is that not a ontological violation of what generation should stand for, the passing of knowledge itself? If someone cannot afford to go to an institution, and this is largely for, Western, Center, and Eastern societies, right? Where any types of big infrastructure of universities, colleges are engaged. Is that not a violation of the mere idea of knowledge and teaching? The fact that it's locked behind several barriers? And yeah, you could argue that you could get student loans to do that, right? And, you can go to college and get in debt. But a lot of people acknowledge that it's not good. The fact that we need to go into debt and we need to have something shackling us in order to have the opportunity to unshackle ourselves. Is that not this cursed Ouroboros cycle? The snake devouring itself? I think it is. And I'm sure a lot of you might think it is. And I'm sure a lot of you might think it is. But here's where complacency comes into effect. A lot of people, and obviously me included, choose to not do anything about it. Now, one could say that I'm doing something about it by talking about it right now. And sure, if you want to go with that. But I could try to go into politics. I could try to advocate for more change. But that ties into my first bullet point. Polarization. They want me to join a side. I cannot get far without joining a side and alienating over half, or maybe just under half, of all people who would like to support me. Because polarization. Just the word itself. You already know the context imposed upon it. Finally, the third one. This is on a more interpersonal level, I'd argue. And that's apathy. Empathy itself is a wonderful concept. The idea that us, with a certain level of intelligence, can somehow register emotionally what's going on with another individual without experiencing what they've gone through is absolutely boundary breaking, and frankly, it's beautiful. The fact that we can somehow use that. But a lot of people don't. And me included. Every single thing that I'm saying here, I've also done to a capacity. But what I try to do is I try to acknowledge what I've been doing wrong, and every day I try to think, even subconsciously, even without realizing it, how can I make that better and take a step in the right direction? How can I somehow put humanity's progress in the forefront of my thoughts? And maybe this is a first step, making this video. Probably not going to reach people, you know? Frankly, I don't really lose sleep over that. It doesn't change anything that I'm going to go through. But apathy. Effectively, it's just creating boundaries where they have no business being. It's so unspeakably saddening to know that if you were to be injured on the street, the majority would likely ignore that. And I'm not saying that that makes them evil. Apathy does not make someone evil, but it's something that is actively setting humanity back. It's so saddening. It's so disheartening to see that so many people care about feeling right. Not even about being right. It's about feeling right and knowing in your own mind with cognitive biases that you are morally, ethically, or even just, feeling wise better than someone else. If a lot of people could learn how to humble themselves more, every day I try to find out how to do that more. I feel like a lot of progress could be made. Of course, I'm distilling thousands of years of misunderstandings, conflicts, wars, interpersonal conflicts in effectively 3 bullet points, which is impossible. And what I can only hope is that someone listening to this realizes that there is so much that can be done, that instead of only focusing on what bad we've done, we can focus on what we can use to fix what's happening, and not just fix, but make better, all right? It's one thing to patch up a system. It's another thing to improve upon it. And I try to say this whenever I get passionate. On my live stream, I was very passionate about this, but I do not speak ill of this world because I hate it. I speak ill of this world because of how much I care for it and how much I love it. I only want to see the world get better. And we have seen the world get better in some avenues. Life expectancy. Just think about that. Think about it. The idea that if you were born with some type of deformity, you were just discarded not too long ago because we lacked the capacity to actually tend for you. Is that not beautiful? We've made progress in so many different sectors, and we need to embrace that and celebrate it. So, in essence, I just hope that anyone here can maybe feel a thing or two watching this. But in the end, I try to do the best I can, and think you should try to. Peace out.